it's Chris. Now picture this. If you have $400,000 to spend in the Tampa Bay area, whether that's Hillsborough, Pinellas, or Pasco, I'm gonna show you exactly what that budget actually bought in the last 30 days. Not listing prices, not price reductions. These are homes that closed, pulled directly from the MLS, and at $400,000. What you get in one county is very different from what you're gonna get in the other. So let's break it down. Before we jump into the properties, here's what I want you to know. The $400,000 price range is one of the most competitive segments in Tampa Bay. It's honestly where first-time home buyers shop, relocation buyers shop, and move-up buyers shop. So for this video, I pulled homes that sold roughly between the $390,000 to $400,000 mark across Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco County in the last 30 days. So this is really current, and this is what buyers are actually paying for homes. By the end of this video, you'll know several things. Where the $400,000 stretches you, and where it feels tight. Let's start with Hillsborough County. So we're gonna start with Hillsborough County, and why not? Hillsborough County is what centralized Tampa really is. And so Hillsborough County is large. Just look at your screen. Wherever you see those red little homes, that's all considered Hillsborough County. And so Hillsborough County really extends further west and goes all the way around. If you can follow my mouse, it goes all the way around here and even further south. You see where it says Riverview? It even goes further south than that. And so it goes all the way out to Plant City, which is also part of Hillsborough County. And so these are the last homes that are just sold. A total of 42 homes have sold. So if you look at your left-hand corner of your screen, 42 homes have sold in Hillsborough County between the range of $390,000 and $400,000. Now, when it comes to people who move into Hillsborough County, they think about proximity to things. And so you want to be around a major highway, you know, the downtown area, which is where the money is being made. You want to be around things that are close to you so you feel that close in proximity to the major city. And so I'm going to zoom in just a bit here. Bear with me a second as I do that. And so you'll see the main veins. This is Interstate 275. This is Interstate 75. This is the I-4 corridor that goes across the state over to Orlando. And so this is the airport. It doesn't say it there on the screen because obviously for obvious reasons, but this is where the airport is. And so a lot of people like to live around the downtown area, which is when I shift over, it's right around this area. It's like a big cluster. This is where 275 and I-4 meet. And so when you look, there's Davis Island. It has a home there that sold $400,000, a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, which is a little different because we're talking about a home that has considerably more bathrooms than it does actual rooms. You have one in South Tampa, which is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $400,000. We have another $400,000 home, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which is kind of like the standard. You know, when you're getting a brand new starter home, it's normally around 3.2. And so just want to give you an idea of what this home looks like. This is at that location here in South Tampa. Now, this home was originally priced at $520,000, and it was on the market for 314 days. Eventually sold for $400,000. And so this is what this home looks like. Let me just really get into the pictures really quickly. So bear with me a second here. So it's a much older home, and that's one of the things I want you to kind of think about when you're looking into Tampa. Tampa is a very old city, and so a lot of the homes reflect that. And so what you're getting is that old rustic look, which is what some people love. They're not fans of like huge HOAs or even CDDs. And so a lot of these homes that you'll find in Hillsborough County do not come with those, kind of back charges that they do with kind of the newer communities, which I'll explain further in. And so this is what this home looks like. So you're talking about very, very simplistic, very clean lines, nothing very modern. Obviously, this would be a workaround home. You know, you're kind of rebuilding, renovating homes and stuff, but it's a great value. At $400,000 that you paid for this in about 10 years, it's going to appreciate to a lot more than that, especially the way the market has been in Florida lately. So this home, we're talking 2,100 square feet in total. 1,500 livable, and so 1,500 square feet in total. That's just one home. So let me go back to the map. Let me show you another one. Okay, going a little bit further south, this is another home for $390,000, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This one's a little bit smaller, and so it's a 3-2, and as you can see from the photos, okay, much smaller home, but for some, this will suffice. Again, doesn't matter what type of home you're looking for, as long as it fits your lifestyle, that's what's important. And so these homes, very clean, very close to the water, nice sized backyard with a deck. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like for the Hillsborough County area. All right, so let's talk about Pinellas County. Pinellas County is right next door to Hillsborough County, and it's considered part of, obviously, the Tampa area, but a lot of people know it for St. Petersburg. And so St. Petersburg, in what is Pinellas County, is also, you got to think about Clearwater. You also have to think about Palm Harbor, Dunedin. So when you hear those names, you think immediately Pinellas County. And so just to give you a quick zoom in, and so before I do that, if you take a look, this is Pinellas County right here. And so it's right around here. All those houses have sold in the last 30 days in Pinellas County. All right, now if I zoom in and I look at a particular home, so let's go here, Indian Shores. You're about, I want to say, a hop skip away from the beach. $399,000, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So let's take a look at this house real quick. This is 13924 Barbados Drive. This sold for $399. It was on the market for 3 days. 3 days. 1,100 square feet of livable space, total square footage 1,800, and it sold for $399,000. Okay. Now let me take a quick look at the pictures. Let me see what this home looks like. Okay. And so this is what it looks like. Let's go inside. Very modern looking home. Updated floors, updated paint job, very well kept up home for $399,000. That's actually a steal. This is a very nice home. So you got your backyard, again, updated floors, clean walls, everything is lined up, kitchen, clean. This is very nice. This is a very nice starter home for $400,000. Let me go back out. And again, you're about, I want to say, maybe 10 minutes to the beach. So if I zoom in here really quickly without losing my place here. So let me zoom in real quick. So if you look at where this house is, right? It's right here. The beach is right there. So you literally have to go north to this main road, okay? Go here and be able to get to your beach. So you can go north to Clearwater or go further south and you can be a part of Madeira Beach. You could be a part of Indian Rocks Beach, North Reddington Beach. I mean, Madeira Beach, any of these beaches here are amazing. So just to give you an idea of proximity to the beach. So if that is your particular lifestyle, I pretty much recommend that you go live around there because that's what you're going to get for $399,000. Now, let me zoom out a little bit and let me see what I can find here. So this is a $400,000 home, a little bit close to the Bel Air shores. This is $400,000. Let me take a quick look at this. All right. And so Pinellas County is very much like Tampa in terms of Hillsborough County. So your home's a little bit older, okay? You're in close proximity to a lot of things. You got your beaches, if that's what you're looking for. You're closer to the airports. You're closer to the more centralized areas of what is Tampa. And so this home looks very, very nice for what you're getting for $400,000 and close to so many different things. This is a great house. This is a great starter home. So take a look at these pictures really quick with me, right? I mean, again, you may have your thoughts on colors and selections of different things, but just look at it from the outside, what you would do with this particular space. And so let me go back out. So this home was on the market and it got on for $435,000. It was on the market for 235 days and sold for $400,000. And so that's what you're getting. You're getting 1,700 square feet for this home, a total amount of 2,000 square feet, right? That includes the lot around you. Amazing, you know, really good space. All right. So let's look at the final destination, which is Pasco County. Now, Pasco County gets a little bit more love from me because I actually live in Pasco County. But what I want you to know and what I want you to look on the screen is I want you to notice how big Pasco County is as well. And so I showed you Hillsborough County, I showed you Pinellas County. Now I want you to take a look at what Pasco County is. So Pasco County literally goes from the beach, right, from the edge there, the shoreline, which as you can see there, it says Hernando, Hudson, Newport Richey, and then all the way east on over to where it says Zephyr Hills, all the way up to Dade City. So if you can like zoom in and put a square around it, that's what Pasco County is. And so Pasco is up and coming. Now you have your older neighborhoods, right? Because again, Tampa, for the most part, is an older city. However, Pasco County, when you're talking about Pasco County, you're talking about newer construction, you're talking about large square footage, planned communities, and amenities. And so those are the things that a lot of us are essentially looking for, especially those of us that are kind of like moving from up north, the colder, region. We're looking for some sort of vacation. So if you're not a beach person, you're not a person that wants to be around, the hustle and the bustle of the downtowns areas of Tampa or even Pinellas County, but you want to kind of feel like you still live in a paradise type of thing, you come to Pasco County, because Pasco County will bring those amenities and that planned community just for you. And so let me take a look here. Within the last 30 days, we've had 21 properties sold in the last 30 days here in Pasco County. And so a lot of our previous videos, we talk about Wesley Chapel, we talk about Zephyr Hills, we talk about even Dade City. Land O'Lakes is another area. The Odessa area, parts of Lutz, which are considered, some parts are Hillsborough County and other areas are Pasco County, because again, it like intersects with different areas. So let me zoom in here real quick, and I have a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home, okay? And this is actually a new build. So $394,000. This is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square feet. So let me give you some perspective on that. So let me look at the pictures really quick. And this is a D.R. Horton home. These are brand new homes that are built. And so this is what you're getting for $400,000. So kind of remember what we just spoke about in terms of what you get for Tampa and what you get for the St. Petersburg, Pinellas County area. And so these homes are much more newer. We're talking 2024, 2025, 2026 homes. And so these homes are ready to go. They've probably been lived in maybe a year, 2 years at most, or you could just have a new build being built for you just right now. You'd have to wait a little bit, obviously, because they have to build it for you, but just get an idea of what you get for your price. So $394,000. And this home got on the market for $394,000 in August of last year. And so you're talking 2,400 square feet in total, 2,800 the total in allotted area. And what I wanted also to notice is I wanted to look at what this information got for this person, what this meant. And so I want you to see here what the price sold for, $394,990. Now, there's something here called a seller credit. This is what the builder was able to give this customer, $19,063, and this goes towards the price of the home. So essentially, this person got this home for like $370,000. That is amazing in itself, that these builders are able to provide these amenities for these individuals that are looking to purchase a home in these areas. So let me go back out into the map. Okay, let me look at a home in Wesley Chapel, because Wesley Chapel is always up and coming. And so $390,000 gave you a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. Okay, this is a much older home. This home was built back in 2022. I wouldn't say much older. It's a little bit older, but not too much. So this is what you get for $390,000. Okay, and so just to compare little differences in homes, again, this is Wesley Chapel. This is the up and coming boom. You have your lake communities, full of amenities, you name it, it's there in Wesley Chapel. Let me zoom back out. Give me a second. All right, let me go right around here. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, because again, those are usually the numbers that you get. This for $394,000 for 5-bedroom, 3-bath. That's amazing. That is a great deal. That is a great deal. Let me look at the Land O'Lakes area. There's another home that sold for $392,000, a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. So again, one other thing I forgot to mention: Pasco County has major roads that take you everywhere. So there's one that goes east to west. This is State Road 54. This is one of the main roads. Okay, it's a state road that takes you across. Then you have Interstate 75, which eventually kind of splits up and becomes 275 and 75 respectfully. And so a lot of people like to live in that area right off the highway. You go straight down to Tampa, you go to work, and you come right back up and you come home to your paradise. So just some things to think about. So if that's something you're looking for, Pasco County is where you want to be. One last look. Let me look at this home. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet. Okay, it was on the market for 69 days. Okay, and this is what this home looks like. Updated floors. Very nice. Very, very nice. So when you consider Pasco County, what's the trade-off you're going? You're going with a longer commute. You're further from central Tampa, kind of different appreciation patterns. Same budget, but completely different strategy. And those are the things you have to think about when you're trying to move yourself into the area of what is Tampa. So here's what 400K consistently buys you right now in the Tampa Bay area. In Hillsborough, you get proximity and convenience. In Pinellas, you get lifestyle and beach access. In Pasco, you get space and newer homes. At this price point, buyers usually prioritize. You prioritize your commute, your school zones, or your square footage. Rarely you can do all three. And this is where clarity protects your budget. So if you're shopping around $400,000, here's what I like to tell my clients. First, get that pre-approval early. Homes in this range move fairly quickly. Second, understand your non-negotiables. And thirdly, know the county before you fall in love with the house, because geography drives the value and strategy protects equity. If you're considering buying in Hillsborough, Pinellas, or in Pasco County around that $350,000, $450,000 range, and you'd like a breakdown like this tailored to your goals, my contact information is below. I work with buyers navigating this exact price range every single week. And having someone interpret recent MLS data before you start touring can save you a lot of time, stress, and money. If you want help building a smart strategy before making a move, reach out. I'm happy to be your guide. And if you'd like to see what $300,000 or $500,000 can buy you, let me know in the comments. Q&A time, and it is our time to answer the questions that you have regarding homes in the $400,000 range. So question number 1, is $400K still enough to buy a good home in Tampa Bay? This is probably the number 1 question right now, and the answer is yes, but it has to be with a strategy. At $400K in Tampa Bay, you're typically choosing between location, square footage, or newer construction. Rarely all three. If you want to be closer to Tampa or the beaches, homes may be older or even smaller. If you want more space or newer build, Pasco County often gives you more options. So the key is understanding your priorities early. Question number 2, which county gives you the most value around $400K? Right now, Pasco County tends to stretch the furthest, and you'll often see newer construction, larger homes, planned communities with amenities, and that is awesome. Hillsborough gives you stronger proximity to Tampa. We spoke about that earlier. Pinellas gives you that coastal lifestyle. So it really depends on what kind of lifestyle you actually want, because again, it's about you. Should buyers focus on new construction or resale homes? Both honestly have advantages. Newer construction often means modern layouts, energy efficiency, and fewer immediate repairs. But the resale homes often offer more established neighborhoods, large lots, and better proximity to central Tampa. So again, it comes back to your long-term priorities. What mistakes do buyers make in the $400,000 range? The biggest mistake that I often see is falling in love with the house before you understand the location. Location drives long-term value. Another mistake is stretching too far on budget without understanding your future resale. So buying strategically protects your equity. So if you're exploring homes around the $400,000 price point in Tampa Bay, those are some of the most important things to keep in mind. And if you're unsure where to start, getting clarity early makes the process so much more smoother.